Welcome back, knowledge seekers and gardeners alike. Today we are going over the many uses of mugwort, the mother of herbs. Previously I did a video on how mugwort can be used as bug repellent, and today we are going over the historic uses and medicinal uses of mugwort. Disclaimer. So while mugwort is of itself not poisonous, please make sure you can 100% identify the herb before picking it, using it, and ingesting it. Second of all, mugwort can and has been known to cause allergic reactions. Everything from sneezing, the itchy nose, the itchy watery eyes, etc. It may also cause rashes, and in some cases can also lead to cases of anaphylaxis. So if you're not 100% sure if you should be using this herb, please don't until you find out. Now, on with the show. So mugwort was brought to the United States in the 1600s because of its many medicinal uses. It is an invasive plant. However, now it is considered native, and it is throughout most of New England and roughly as far south as maybe North Carolina, with isolated pockets here and there throughout the United States, and then predominantly found again in Washington and Oregon. Now, in the fact of its many storied uses, mugwort is known as Artemisia vulgaris, and there are 13 different types of mugwort. And it's some consider it in the ragweed family, some consider it in the daisy family, which really threw me off when I was doing my research. So there will be a number of links in the description for you to go through and read through. I am also wondering if the different types of mugwort may fall into slightly different plant families or genuses. It's been a long time since I've done biology with that kind of stuff, like sophomore year of high school. I am but a humble historian trying to make sense of a lot of this. And that's the thing that always kind of throws me off. So I will give you the information for you to kind of sort through on your own, but just know that there are 13 different types. One of the main uses for mugwort is actually premenstrual symptoms or premenstrual cramping. So gentlemen, if you want to skip ahead, I don't know how many men watch this channel, to be honest, but if you want to skip ahead, you can. If you're curious on how to help your significant other, then maybe this is helpful to you. And so it's usually mugwort in this case is administered as a tea. So this was given in cases of like someone not getting their period due to maybe hormonal reasons, or things were just kind of out of whack. This is not given in case of pregnancy. Pregnant women or women trying to get pregnant should not be given mugwort because it causes very gentle uterine contractions. On the other end of that spectrum, in traditional Chinese medicine, this is actually given to help induce labor. So it depends on where you are in your pregnancy that will determine whether or not you can be given this. The recipe that I was given, or that I found in this book, I think as opposed to the one I put in the mugwort video, I don't know if I did that or not. This is the second time I'm doing this video because I restructured it quite a bit. The standard tea is 2 teaspoons per cup of water steeped for 20 minutes and taken in a quarter cup 4 times a day. And that's the standard kind of use. Now, mugwort also has a warming effect, so you will find records from the Romans, especially from the Roman army, that they would put mugwort in their sandals or wrap their legs in it during long marches to help prevent foot fatigue. So it would help with the blood flow in that respect for these things. It was also believed to protect against evil spirits, and you can still use mugwort today for this purpose, especially if you're an avid outdoors person, if you like to go hiking and you can find it. Again, just be aware. The ironic thing is mugwort is supposed to help with itching, but if you have an allergy to it, it will be the source of the itching. So just be careful if you should choose to use this. And this does need to actually touch your skin, so you are going to have to either put it in your sock or however, you wear your shoes or whatever shoes you're wearing. So that's up to you. It is also known as a means of cleansing the liver. California mugwort Artemisia, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Artemisius douglassiana kills cancer cells, but at least that's the going theory. They do have to do more research on it to see if mugwort can be used in cancer treatment. I don't know where it is in its development of cancer treatments, however. It is also known as a sedative, so it will promote relaxation. And it's also really good as a culinary herb because it helps with digestion. So it will help with things like stomach cramps, acid reflux, digestive issues, diarrhea. I feel like it's basically like a borderline early version of a Pepto-Bismol supplement. So you can try it again. Just be mindful if you have an allergy. What's really interesting is that some sources say that the herb should be used fresh and you should use very little of it in your cooking. Other sources say it can be used almost like dandelions and that you can make a whole salad out of it. So I am going to leave that up to you to figure out how you would like to use it, or if you want to try and use this as a salad. I honestly don't know if I would go quite that far, but if you do suffer from stomach problems, you could maybe try just eating a few leaves or using the tea for that matter. That you make yourself and see if it does help. If you want to also use like that quarter cup of tea like 4 times a day, or you just want to try like a quarter cup and see what it does for you before going and committing to steeping like a whole bunch of it, you can try that too. It was known as being helpful for epilepsy, palsy, hysteria, and useful for fever. And it protects against sunstroke and wild animals. I threw the wild animals in here. I don't really know if I believe that. Although if it is a repellent for insects, and I do notice that it doesn't necessarily get eaten by rabbits, like a lot of the animals tend to leave it alone. So maybe it is actually really good at repelling wild animals. Should you choose to make an essential oil out of this, you can pick the flowers early on in the season when they have the most oil and create an essential oil out of this that is both antibacterial and antifungal. I will add though that if you make the tea like in the previous video, that is also an antifungal. So if your plants have a blight, you can use it as an antifungal on your plants. I would assume it may still have the same antibacterial properties, but I don't know if the elements from the oil are what is antibacterial as you're pressing it out, or if it's the whole plant. So that part I'm not sure of. Also, you can mix mugwort, and if you want mugwort and lavender, is what I meant to say, into little like sachets and stick them in your clothes to repel moths. You can just use plain mugwort. Lavender will also repel moths, so if you want to combine the two, that you can. Culinary uses. So mugwort was also used as a culinary herb, not just as a medicinal herb in different societies. So it is said to have a very tart flavor that can taste like mint or juniper, and it is said to pair well with lamb, duck, pork, or goose. Now this is where it says to use it sparingly, fresh or dried. So maybe as a herb or as a seasoning, it needs to be used sparingly, whereas if you're using it in a salad, it's a different matter. It can be used in small batches for beer brewing and or you can use it as a bitter in your cocktail. Doesn't tell you quite how to make the bitters, but you can use it in small batches of beer brewing. It was used as such years ago. Another interesting thing that I found in doing my research, if you take a mason jar, shove it full of mugwort leaves, and then pour apple cider vinegar over it, you can actually make mugwort vinegar. And this is a good way of getting calcium and magnesium for healthy bones. Magnesium's also really good for muscle tension. So if you suffer from a lot of sore, stiff muscles, magnesium can be really good for that. However, if you also want to try just eating more vegetables that have more magnesium in them, or trying a magnesium vitamin, also equally a good measure if you don't want to do this. Now, mugwort also has a certain number of magical uses to it, which is kind of how it came onto my radar, aside from being used as a tea, which my own teacher told me about, and someone I know that does homesteading told me about. But mugwort is also known as black sage and can be used as a smudge. And just like sage, it is antibacterial as a smoke. So if you don't want to use sage or you want to combine the two, you can. Because I've used sage in the past. If people have, especially if you're running into a time of the year where you have a lot of chest colds, I know it seems kind of ironic, but if you burn sage or sage oil on a candle, it will help to purify your air. So you can also use mugwort the same way. You can burn it and kind of literally clear the air in your house. Mugwort is also very commonly known for bringing on very vivid dreams. You can place a leaf or a branch under your pillow to bring on very vivid or prophetic dreaming, or you can make a sachet out of it. I will make a note here that if you or someone in your household happens to be incredibly clairvoyant, which means clear seeing, and they're having a lot of vivid dreams around the time that mugwort is blooming or throughout the summer, and you have mugwort planted next to your house, or it happens to be next to their house, like under their bedroom, you may need to remove the mugwort away, because some people are just that sensitive and that prone to it that it doesn't have to be near them in order to trigger prophetic dreaming. So just bear that in mind if you find that like your kids are fine like half the year and then all of a sudden the spring hits and they're having all kind of wild dreams. You may have to do some experimenting first to figure out what exactly it is, if it's just a really vivid imagination or if it is indeed kind of a paranormal, supernatural, herbal kind of occurrence. In traditional Chinese medicine, mugwort has been used for moxibustion. I hope I said that right. And this is, if I understand this concept right, it's during the acupuncture session when someone finds a particular blockage, they smudge the area with mugwort. And this enhances the acupuncture aspect of it. And it says the burning of the herb at sensitive points in the nervous systems makes use of the herb's antispasmodic nature, which is known to help ease excited nerves. So you can also use it in a tea to help with scrying. You can wash your magic mirrors or crystal balls with it. Use it as a tea to help with scrying. Now, I'm not sure if it says when you can use it as a tea to help with scrying, if that means something like tea leaf reading, like you can use the mugwort tea for tea leaf reading, or if it means there's like hydromancy is when you can read water. So I don't know if it means you can see images in the tea, like instead of you would traditionally use clear water for this or a body of water. So I don't know if that means you can use a cup of tea, but considering the fact it says that you can wash your magic mirrors and crystal balls with it, if it means in that respect, because those are both means of, well, they're divination. They're not scrying. I'm not sure what that means. I can help with scrying. Because scrying is when you use a pendulum. That's a type of scrying. So I don't know if you can wash your pendulums with it. I don't know where I found that. Because it wasn't explained. It just said it could be used to help with scrying. So, Someone in the comments tell me if you use it as such. Because now I'm curious, because I typed it out, not mixing up scrying and divination. I mean, they are technically kind of the same. So I'm not sure if it's just a reference to the fact that you are washing your divination tools with it, or if I'm missing something and there's another way of using it. So yeah, let me know in the comments, because I'm not sure. Funny how saying things out loud makes you kind of realize that you're like, wait a minute, I'm not sure what they're talking about there. All right, but that is everything. I hope you find this video helpful. And maybe you look into using mugwort. Now, if you're not sure if some of these things appeal to you, especially from an herbal perspective or a culinary perspective, please reach out to a certified naturopath or herbalist. You can also try talking to someone if you know someone that has just a lot of years of herb lore under their belt. Maybe they're a homesteader, maybe they're an avid gardener and they've always kind of done this stuff and it's been passed down through generations. And they might be able to give you a better guideline on where to start. Or maybe you work your way through other herbs for some of these problems, like stomach issues. Traditionally, a lot of the herbs are mint, ginger, cinnamon, fennel, basil, and licorice. Just be careful with licorice because it will raise your blood pressure. So if you are prone to high blood pressure, don't rely too heavily on licorice. And I'm sure there are other herbs. Or if it's a situation where you may need medication if you're in the middle of a flare-up, depending on if it's like acid reflux, GERD, gastritis, Crohn's. I don't know if you'd want to be mixing that with your Crohn's medication. That's the other thing. I don't know if this is good to mix with certain medications. But if you've got like IBS, colitis, or endocrinitis, it may help. It may be that the other herbs might be more useful. So if you want to kind of look at that, make sure you're out of a flare-up first through whatever means possible, and then you could try an herbalist or a naturopath and ask them. See if they can help you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care. I hope you're doing well. Until we meet again. Bye.